Good morning again for the third time, but I was browsing through the internet and I came upon this site called greedyfinance.com. And this article I thought was interesting, so I would like to share it with you guys. It is Pest Control refuses to handle the oddly large hornet nest in their attic. James was startled when he hears his son Llama screaming. It sounds like Llama is in the attic. Without hesitation, James rushed up the stairs. Nobody had been in the attic for some time, and he was wondering what Llama was doing there. Llama was freaking out, and James had never seen his teenage son in this state. He tried to calm his son down, but all Llama did was point at a wall in the attic. When James took a look, he turned pale. He knew he had to call the professionals right away. A giant hornet's nest at the top part of the wall. There was a huge hornet nest. James had seen a lot of hornet nests before, but this one was loud. The noise was also strangely different. It was more like a car engine trying to start. He felt scared, got chills all over his body. James knew by the size and the look of it that this hornet nest is not normal at all. Llama says they were protecting something inside the giant nest. James tried to move closer, but he was immediately swarmed by a few of the hornets. He called the experts. The hornets were very aggressive, and James got a couple of stings. The pain was unbearable, and James knew they had to get out of the attic as soon as possible. He led Llama to the door and sealed it shut as quickly as he could. Hold on. James immediately looked for experts online. He knew he could not deal with this huge nest all by himself. He found one in town and immediately gave them a call. James told them the situation and they assured him they would come by right away. Experienced and confident, soon Mark from Pest Control arrived. James and Llama warned him that the hornet nest was really big, but Mark just chuckled and assured them he could handle it on his own. He had done insect control for years and had dealt with hornets' nests 100 times. Mark could already hear the wasps as he made his way to the attic. He said they were louder than usual, but assured him that he was not scared. He entered the attic with confidence, but it only took him a few seconds to rush out and seal the door behind him. Waiting for winter. Mark looked terrified. James looked at him, clearly seeing that Mark's confidence was completely gone. He was actually looking like he was afraid. What happened in the attic? Mark told James that he had never seen a hornet's nest like that, and he never seen the hornets act so aggressively. Mark told James there was nothing he could do at the moment, and it was best to wait until winter when the hornets were hibernating. He refused to go back in. James did not want to wait until winter, but Mark refused to go back inside the attic. Mark claimed that there must be something in the nest because the hornets are only that aggressive when they are being overprotective. James tried paying Mark more money, but it was clear that he was too terrified to go back to the attic. Mark left the house, advising that they barricade the entrance to the attic and wait until winter to get rid of the hornet's nest. Things got worse. James felt powerless. If an expert could not deal with the problem, his chances of doing it by himself were probably very low. He did as Mark advised and barricaded the attic to prevent the hornets from getting inside the house. But things started to get worse. The noise was very loud to the point that the entire family was sleeping in the living room because the hornets kept them awake. It did not take long for a couple of hornets to make their way downstairs. Trying to do the job himself, James started to look for other pest control companies, but when they heard that the first expert backed out, they all informed him that it was best to wait until winter, since the hornets would be hibernating. James decided to take the matter into his own hands. James went to the store and bought the necessary gear he would need to defend himself against the hornets. He made sure to do his research when it came to dealing with them and brought everything he needed. Clearing the barricade, his wife Emma did not want James to go to the attic, but James chose to ignore his wife. Please to just let the experts handle it in the wintertime. The hornets were driving him crazy. He told everyone to get out of the house. Once they were all outside, James made his way to the attic and removed the barricade. James went into the attic, took a look around. He found the hornet's nest had actually increased in size. It was about 8 times bigger now. Failed a mission. James made his way towards the hornet's nest. His plan was simple. Grab the nest and throw it away from the window. But he got brutally attacked by hundreds of hornets. Despite the protective gear he was wearing, he was still able to feel the powerful sting. Feeling helpless, James rushed to the door and gets out of the attic. He ends up falling down the stairs. His head was pounding and his whole body hurt. The last thing James remembered was the worried look on his face. Taking charge, when James woke up, he could not remember anything. He felt a sharp pain in his head. He looked like the fall gave him a concussion and some temporary memory loss. When the doctors came by the next day, he told James that he could stay in bed for a couple of days. Llama knew James would not be able to go back up the attic again. Maybe he should try instead. He felt like he was the man of the house right now. But if his father could not do it, how could he? However, Llama was also getting more curious about what was in the nest, waiting for the perfect time. Llama searched online on what to do, and he saw a video about beekeepers using smoke to get rid of the hornets. He had to keep his plan a secret. He knew his mother would never let him in the attic after what happened to his father. Llama knew he had to act when his mother was not home. He waited patiently for the right moment. Finally, his mother left the house to get some groceries. Llama knew this was his window. He put on his father's protective gear and headed for the stairs. His dad got his back, but his father stopped him. Llama could feel his heart beating loudly at being caught. But then James was smiling. I see you have a smoker, so you must be smarter than I am. He laughed. Llama told him that he could handle this and that he should go back to bed. James looked at his teenager with a mix of worry and pride. He then told his son to be careful and that he stand his guard at the bottom of the steps. Llama entered the attic, his heart racing as he saw the hornets flying around the room. A big mistake. As the attic filled with smoke, the hornet started to quiet down. Llama slowly approached the nest, but he could not see clearly through the smoke. He felt the attic window instead to crack it open. Llama never thought that a hornet's nest could be beautiful with all its holes and tunnels. He could see the center of the nest. There was a lot of hornets piling up on each other, concealing what was in the center. Finishing the job, the smoke had cleared, and the hornet had regained their consciousness. Llama fell to the ground, trying to reach his smoker. He was about to reach it for it when he felt a sharp pain in his arm. He got stunned. Llama did his best to move fast, and despite the pain, he started smoking the room again. His sight was getting blurry from the smoke, but this time he made sure to finish what he was starting. He grabbed the hornet's nest with all his might and threw it out the window, getting in trouble. Llama called out to his father, telling him he did it. They both ran outside to check the hornet's nest, but what they found in the driveway was more terrifying. Emma was standing there with grocery bags in hand, and the nest was on her poor feet. Emma sees Llama and James running out of the house, and when she saw Llama wearing the beekeeper suit, her face immediately red with fury. She could not believe Llama and James were up to. She started yelling at them for being so irresponsible. Something in the nest. But then Emma stopped talking after she saw something sticking out of the nest. James went closer and pushed some part of it. Then he realized what he was looking at. It was something that he had hidden in the attic when they first moved in. Llama tried to take a closer look, but James pushed him away. He ordered Llama to go inside and take his mom with him. When Llama asked what was wrong, James simply said that he did not want them to see it, implying that it was something gross. Seeing red, Llama told his mother that it was suspicious. Emma agreed and watched James from the window. She saw James pick up the object inside the nest, and her eyes widened. She was starting to feel mad again. Emma stormed outside once more, demanding an explanation from James. She could not believe that her husband would lie to her like this. Llama followed his mother outside, confused. He looked at the object in his father's hand and got more confused. Riding off with regrets, Llama opened the trunk of his car, got some old towels, and wrapped the object. He then placed the wrapped object in the passenger seat and started to drive away, promising Emma that he would get rid of it for good. As James drove away, he berated himself for being so stupid. Why did he keep things even he knew his wife did not want it? He took a quick peek at the thing during a red light. It was an old doll that James had inherited from his grandmother's sister. His wife was right after all. James did not know his grandmother's sister well, but he kept the doll in case it had sentimental value in the family. When Emma first saw it, she immediately did not like it. Emma was a bit superstitious and said she sensed negative energy around the doll. She told James to throw it away because it will give them trouble someday. James did not believe her, so he hid the doll in the attic instead. But now he was thinking that Emma was right. After all, he drove to a nearby swamp and threw the doll into the water. That was the end of the story. That is all the story was. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that news article / story, and I hope that you all have a blessed and lovely day. Love you all. See you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.